Alright, this is Ian with Slippery Pickles Production. Here's my first tutorial on Technic. Okay, hold on. First of all, I think I'm going to turn this off quick. Now, this is what you call an infinite cobblestone generator. It's a pretty basic design. You've probably seen setups where people actually will take just water and lava block and put them just the right distance apart so they'll keep on generating cobblestone. Normally you have to break the cobblestone with a pick manually though. It's a little bit of a different setup I've made here. By using a Technic technology here. I use the timer here and block breakers. First thing you're going to want to do when making this though, see how this is 2 blocks down? The water source block should be up here, and it should be exactly the same on the other side with this, with the lava. And they should both come down here, and there should be a separation block in between. Make sure that's there. Then you put the block breakers on top and make sure they're facing down. And over that, you ought to take some redstone tubes. You could take could just take the pneumatic tubes and then just put redstone next to the blocks, but it's just kind of no. It's better just to use the redstone tubes like this, and then use a jacketed cable of any kind to connect them to here, and then use a timer set on just under a second should do. I could probably even lower it a little bit more, make it go faster. It shouldn't lag too much. Might be different on someone else's computer though. And oh yeah, that's the actually, now that I think about that, that's the same. Oh yeah, so it was the pedo zombie was actually a wolf. That really doesn't sound like a wolf, that one noise there. It just sounds like somebody's going into the microphone. Alright, good. That mystery is solved. And you see here, I've already, just in like less than a minute, I've made all this cobblestone here. And god, that's really distracting. Anyway, I set it up so this should, when it gets full, start sending stuff into this energy condenser here and start working on making diamonds. In theory. It would take a long time to make diamonds, though. You can see it does work pretty fast, though. So if you ever need lots of building materials, this is one way to do it, and it's also great for generating EMC. Very good for generating EMC. And oh, look, a bunny. Yeah, anyway, I'll turn it off quick. So yeah, this is a great way, just as an early on thing to do. I'm not going to show you all the crafting recipes. I might get to that during my survival mode playthrough, but not right now. In fact, this isn't the most useful thing later on in game, but it's really useful early on when you. So if you know a little bit about red power, it's just gonna be really handy. This is part of the red power mod. All this stuff right here, except for the energy condenser over here, which is part of a equivalent exchange. You use an energy condenser here to replicate these diamonds here, which is probably most of what equivalent exchange really is, replicating some diamonds. More and more diamonds. Anyway, one mistake that's commonly made with this is that well, I made this mistake too, and I could assume that a lot of people can end up doing this too, is make sure you put the water and lava source blocks up a level here, so it comes down and then meets right in here, because otherwise it's just going to turn all your lava into obsidian. And oh dear, that's on fire. Well, I don't think they could damage anything, so no problem. As long as it didn't burn my chest. Anyway, so this can be really useful for both building materials and for EMC generation. There are other EMC generators that I might get to showing you another time. But for starters, this is the infinite cobblestone generator. You can just leave this and it'll keep on going. Make all the cobblestone you'll ever need. Now, if you'll excuse me, I saw a manta ray over here. I think I'm gonna ride that bitch. Alright, just to make sure, guys, I'm gonna make sure you get how this works. I'm gonna make a little small prototype here for you. It's gonna be real simple. I'm just gonna... oh, jeez. Just take... oops, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, God damn it. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing right now. Just like this. This is essentially how you start out right here. And use a screwdriver of any kind. This one's a sonic screwdriver, but it doesn't really matter what you use. You use that to flip these over. Now I'm going to make... now I'm going to get a timer. Once again, I'm not going to explain how these things are made. That's something you can just figure out by... usually... yeah, you can just press R to figure out... just press the R key to figure out what how to make certain things if you're trying to figure that out. Or just look it up, you know. Internet should provide some answers. Don't worry about that. Next you want to get some, probably some red alloy wire, and probably some jacketed wire too. Maybe I'll jacketed. Put some cobblestone jacketed wire, so do get rid of those. Some cobblestone jacketed wire. Red wire right here. Okay, no. It's not supposed to do that yet. Slow down here. Alright. Another thing you're gonna need, lever. Lots of parts here. You want to put your lever here, and then turn that off until you're actually done. Place that block down there. Next thing you ought to do is get some redstone tubes, which are very important. Place the redstone tubes right here. Okay, place the redstone tubes there, and then you want to put your container over here somewhere. So let's see, you want that, say you want that energy condenser here, so you can make lots of whatever materials you want by just converting cobblestone into it. So you're going to want to do that to start with. Now add your lava and make sure you add it up here so it just doesn't turn it all into obsidian when you do that. And then put your water over here, same thing. And it should work perfectly. Now, one last thing. Might as well put a diamond in here. Or better yet, why don't I put... well, no, I'll just put a diamond. Wait. Whatever. Because I already had some there. Alright. Now, also, you might as well, turn down your... oops. Turn your time down. Here, I'd say that probably will do. And this should work. Yep. As you can see here, this is a much smaller model, so it'll take a lot longer for it to actually work. But if you'll see my original version over here, well, first off, I think I'm gonna Here, I got an idea. Now watch. See, that's much faster. It still will take a really long time and lots of block breakers to do this, but it can be good for somebody just starting out in this game. If you have a whole bunch of iron, you can make lots of iron pickaxes, because it's one of the that's one of the components in building a block breaker. These aren't that expensive to make, just, you know, stone, sticks, redstone, stuff like that. And these you'll need some brass, which will need an alloy furnace, which is also not that big of a deal, it's just bricks. And only really expensive item here is the energy condenser, which I believe requires about 6 diamonds. But if you can get all that stuff together, this could be a good way to produce lots of materials and lots of raw EMC for any kind of equivalent exchange items. It's, you know, just one of the many ways you can just take one mod and use it to improve another one in the Technic mod pack. So yeah, that's just my this is my design here, how I did it. If anybody else has a better way of doing it, then good for you. But this is how I usually do stuff like this. This is pretty much the standard way of doing it, I believe. Anyway, that was my infinite cobblestone generator tutorial. Pretty straightforward. I'm gonna be coming out with some new tutorials later, hopefully better ones. I'm a little bit tired right now. I just kind of did this last minute. But next time I'm thinking maybe force fields, or I might do some frame motor tutorials. Not a whole lot of people do those, I think. I've actually have built a particularly interesting machine with frame motors that I want to show you guys. It's designed to move in one direction and break all the blocks in front of it, and you can build tunnels and kind of like little leveled out roadways and stuff. I'm hoping I can find a way to maybe use builders with it, but I don't know if that'll work or not. I haven't tested it. I have a theory maybe that if you were to find some way of placing builders on the frame structure, and then it'll stop every so many blocks, it can slowly build some kind of a roadway using that. I have no idea if that'll work or not. Probably not, but it's worth a try. Anyway, I'm going to make that tutorial too. I have a few other things I'd like to do also, but this is my first tutorial I wanted to show you guys. Anyway, this is Ian from Slippery Pickles Production. Actually signing off this time. I couldn't find the manta ray before, so... oh well. Later, guys.